Perfume can actually make you unhappy. I'm just not happy with those when I wear them. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Toussaint Komo. This is a channel where we talk about fragrances and arts. I want to bring to you a videos on fragrances I don't like. I talk a lot about fragrances I love because that's where I get excited. But I thought that sometimes we can learn as much from understanding what doesn't work for us. So I have a series on happiness over 50 and it's all about finding your happy. And I talk about fragrances a lot in my videos, and I realize that fragrance really has to do with happiness. And there are certain fragrances that, as much as I want to like them, as much as I want to work with them, it's not like I don't like them, but there's something about them that doesn't work for me. And I think that perhaps that may be the case for other people. So I thought, oh, okay, maybe someone can learn from that. And I also was inspired to do this video by a video that Claire is our resident scientist perfume reviewer. I'll link her channel below. She had a nice video where she explained certain components in fragrances and so forth. And I realized that, okay, it's not about talking bad about perfume or talking bad about house or anything. The perfume industry is a huge multi-billion-dollar industry. There's a lot that would be happening with their offering that may or may not work for us. So in my case, this is what I want to talk about. Without any further ado, I want to illustrate a couple of perfumes that I have in my collection that are a little bit problematic. Some of them, I have featured them in my video. They have their moment where they work, and I'll explain that. But generally, these are not fragrances. When I reach them, I feel I'm going to be very happy on a daily basis. Some occasion they work and some other occasion, but on a daily basis they don't. So ever since I bought this, I only tried it once. I should have returned it, but I'm hoping to just give it to someone. Okay, it's Amazing Grace Jasmine. I love Amazing Grace. So when I heard Amazing Grace came with a jasmine that had coconut water, I love coconut water, and I thought it was summer. Oh, that's going to work really great. I love Amazing Grace. Boom. I put Amazing Grace Jasmine on, and I'm not kidding, guys. It just brings me anxiety. It brings me anxiety. And so it has jasmine. It has some coconut nectar, they say. But it turns out something about jasmine, and I can go into a little bit more detail about jasmine, is a great flower that enhances other flowers. But something about it, when it's by itself, it becomes somewhat intolerable for me. It's a nice fragrance, but when I have it on and it's all me dealing with jasmine and sugar, it's providing some form of discomfort, and I'm just not able to deal with this beautiful, sweet little thing. So that's number one in fragrances that have not worked for me, and it turns out because the flower of jasmine by itself is too simplistic, and it just induces something about it that doesn't work. The second one, I couldn't understand why I was uncomfortable with it. It's White Fire. Now, I've given great review on it, and I did mention that I felt it was a little bit very jasmine-y. But on winter, it worked a little bit because, so it's jasmine and then it has some form of snow note. So during winter, the jasmine somewhat dissipate and then it has a snow note. But then again, what happened is that I'm smelling it now. The jasmine feels elegant and nice. But at the end of the day, I pick up something like baby breath, saliva, and that's really dominant. That makes me not able to wear it during summer. So, and it turns out the culprit of it is the jasmine, which something about it for me doesn't work. So the idea is for you guys to figure out what doesn't work for you. And what's interesting is that it has nothing to do with the perfumer, it has nothing to do with the house, it has to do with the ingredient and whether it works out with you or not. Because this is like some $300 perfume, and this is like, I don't know, like 40. So it's an imaginative creation, it's all this, but it still is not going to work if something about its composition for you as an individual doesn't work. So I encourage you to figure out what it is that you guys is not your cup of tea. And you need to understand that when you go and you smell the fragrance, you don't just smell it and be like, oh, this is nice. You have to figure out what's in it, because there is a chance, if there are certain fragrances you don't like, find out what the ingredients are. Most likely, almost everything else, if it has that ingredient as dominant, you're not going to like it. Another example, even more expensive fragrances, is Baccarat Rouge 540. I want to love Baccarat Rouge 540, and I do wear Baccarat Rouge 540 if I am in a party outside where I think things get ventilated. But anyway, Baccarat Rouge 540 is jasmine, saffron, and all the beautiful things that we know about that makes Baccarat Rouge 540. The saffron clearly makes it very expensive, and then you get a smoky, very expensive things going on. But something about it has always bothered me that feels very linear, that feels very prominent, that doesn't make me feel happy. And it turns out it's really the jasmine in Baccarat Rouge 540. So be aware of it, that if you don't like little jasmine in Amazing Grace, there is a chance you're not going to like this one. You can spend your money on it because, like I say, it has its moment. But just know it's not going to be something you would want to live with. Like, I would not want to have this as my fragrance of everyday living. That's not something that would make me happy. Right there. Baccarat Rouge 540. Another one, so that's another example. So this is one that is for summer with coconut, and it still didn't work. And this one is kind of a nice creation with this very inventive snow note. That still didn't work with the jasmine. And this one is this saffron and amazingly breathtaking fragrance, and it still may not work because of the jasmine. And the last one is again another expensive fragrance, Le Gem by Bulgari, and it's Lazula. Beautiful presentation. I purchased this one because based on the description at the time, I thought it was going to be a light fragrance. And sure enough, when you spray it, it's a very light fragrance. So it has jasmine, incense, and then wood, agar wood. So the ingredients are very expensive, but then again, because it's just the jasmine that entered that fragrance by itself in the opening, somehow it really becomes prominent, especially depending on certain days that you wear it. It becomes very prominent on summer, and you barely get the wood, you barely get the incense. You can see that it's a beautiful crafted jasmine that tried to be a little bit incensey, but in my nose, because of this proclivity for me for something about the jasmine not to work, I put it on and I'm not happy. You know, basically that's what it is. So anyway, moral of the story, sometimes it's not you, it's your perfume. Perfume can actually make you unhappy. I'm just not happy with those when I wear them that much compared to other fragrances. So hope you get something out of that. I think also rose is another note. If it's by itself without supporting other things, it's not my nicest experience, and I'm yet to discover other things that don't work for me. So the point, guys, in your journey to discovering who you are, what you like to be surrounded yourself with fragrance wise, it's also relevant for you to learn notes that don't work for you, and to know that no matter how expensive the fragrance is, no matter how inventive the perfumer is, if somehow they're presenting an ingredient as a dominant ingredient in a composition, it's just not going to be for you. So hope you get something out of my little experience with those varied fragrances that still don't work for me when it's all said and done. So I'm Mode Toussaint. This is a mod thing channel. If you like my content, please like and subscribe. Until next time, bye.